when it comes to Iwa, the word Iwa in Yoruba just basically means character or behavior in general. So that word in and of itself, Iwa, is very much so neutral. Now, when we're talking about Iwa Pele, that means gentle or balanced character. Iwa Pele is basically what a lot of people translate to gentle character, but it's really like balance. It's about kind of being in that in between space. You're not too far to the right, not too far to the left. You are in balance, ideally, right? So everybody has Iwa because that's just your character, but not everybody walks or operates within Iwa Pele on a regular basis. All right, and even with that being said, Iwa Pele is balanced, so you could be balanced in one area but not be balanced in another area. Pretty well balanced, and that happens to all of us. Nobody's going to be perfectly 100% balanced all the time, because otherwise you wouldn't really need to be here, right? Because our whole walk, our whole journey on this earth is about learning those lessons so that we can achieve balance. But you want to stick as close as possible to it. It's not like well, I can't maintain perfection type of thing, so I'm just going to do whatever I want to anyway. That's not how it goes either. All right. So I got the question, is Iwa Pele the same as good character? And it is not, right? So Ìwà Pẹ, as I said before, that is balanced character, oftentimes translated as gentle character. But when we're talking about good character, is Ìwà Rere. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but it's a different word in the Yoruba language, right? And this concept is basically subjected to cultural norms, right? The word good, that's very subjective, and it's really going to be based on what society is saying is right or wrong at that time. It's not necessarily based specifically on the principles of the Odu, though obviously you will have a whole lot of coordination there, but it's not always going to be the exact same thing, because society could consider something to be good in general, and it may not actually be good for you, even though it seems very much so benign, because it could be against your own taboos and what you were meant to do. Right? You even, like, let's say you want to pick up a profession and you want to go and be like a medical professional, like a doctor or a nurse or something like that, because you want to help people genuinely. But it actually could be against your destined path. It might be taboo for you to go into that field of work. And so society will be like, that's a noble profession, but it may not be for you. So we distinguish it from that particular notion. You can kind of think about it like from the perspective of like Christianity, if you come from that background, when it comes to the notion of almsgiving and charity. Though they sit along the same line, they're not the exact same thing. Like almsgiving is from a very spiritual perspective based on, the biblical mandates that you are supposed to give, but it's strategic, it's intentional giving. It's not just, walking down the street and you see a homeless person and you just give them money. It's not that that's wrong, or it's not that that's not considered almsgiving. However, almsgiving is about proper reciprocity, and you are doing it in a way that's going to uplift the person and things like that. So, you could give to somebody and that person uses that in a way that is actually detrimental for them, right? You give them a homeless person some money, for instance, and they take their money, they use it to buy drugs or alcohol, they're spiraling back into the same condition again. And of course, there are situations where you can give a homeless person money and they could utilize that to strengthen themselves and actually go to the next level, depending on the circumstances surrounding that, right? But charity is like just giving, being kind, being nice. And that can be done on so many levels as well. It can be very strategic from a societal perspective when we're talking about like these large charitable organizations. But you can also be charitable by giving people things and doing things for people without it being from a religious context. So that's kind of the distinguishing factors there between what we refer to as balanced character, Ìwà Pele. That is something that is very much so within the confines of the Ifa tradition, right? The Yoruba traditional culture, whereas good character, again, like I said before, is about being just a good person all around, and it is from a social perspective or what have you.